Hello and welcome back, artists and designers. Today we're going to talk about color palettes and how we can take a simple 5-color palette, get it into Illustrator, and then multiply that into a palette that has some dark and light shades for each color. So in this activity, what I want you to avoid doing is just picking randomly from the color swatches up here, or simply double clicking on a color and trying to move sliders around, or clicking on the color palette up here and randomly picking a color out. This is what we want to avoid. So let's talk about getting a specific color palette loaded up for us. So I'm going to go ahead and hop over to Coolers. All right, so this is the color generator site. So we'll go ahead and hit start the generator. It's going to take you to this landing screen with about 5 different colors on it. Each of these colors is customizable. If you want to change and you want to start with a specific color, you can click on the name. You can pick the color that you want to lock in here. You can lock it, and then as soon as you hit spacebar, it's going to give you options based on that color. So you can kind of cycle through these until you come across something you're like, ooh, I kind of like that. Maybe that's the one I want to roll with. So that gives you a whole bunch of options in here. You can keep cycling through those. You can modify, adjust colors. You can also hit these 3 lines and choose Explore, and there are some preset colors right inside here too. So if you find one, for example, you look at this and you go, ooh, this is pretty nice. Maybe I want to work with this color palette or this one, for example. That's really kind of up to you if you want to start from there and then build off of that. So let's go ahead and hit the randomizer again, and let's find a color palette that we want to work with right here. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what, this one's a little too light. Let's lock these guys in here and choose something that has a little bit more variety down here. There we go. Now we got a pink. Let's work with this. So I'm going to go ahead and export this color palette. Right up top here, I'm going to choose SVG. That's Scalable Vector Graphic, and that's going to be the easiest thing for me to pop in here. So I'm going to do Sample. So this is my Sample SVG palette. So that's downloading right there, and I'm going to go ahead and minimize this and open up my Illustrator doc. So let's go ahead and, you know what, let's use the same one and just do a new layer on here. So let's hide this layer. We will do a fresh one right over top of this, and let's get going here. We're going to do a File and Place, and I'm going to go grab my sample palette. There it is. Place it, and as it loads up here, I'm going to pop it right into the top, and there we go. Now it's going to come in as a group, so I'm going to ungroup it. I don't need this text down here. And let's take these options, kind of scale them up, and I've got my starter palette right here. But I want to have 3 versions of each color. So this is a fun way to do it. We're going to go ahead and grab our pen tool, and we're going to make a little diamond shape, and I'm going to use my smart guides. This doesn't need to be perfect. It just gives you a way to visualize your color palette in a different way. So there's the top of my cube, and hold the shift key down and get the bottom, follow that same basic angle. Again, this does not need to be perfect, but use your smart guides to help you line up here whenever possible. I didn't quite get to this one, so I'm going to move that over there in a second. Go right here, and we'll move and adjust a couple of these around because I didn't do a very good job. So let's grab our direct selection tool and edit this. There we go. Again, this doesn't need to be the best cube ever. Oops, come on, move over here. There we go. You just want to have 3 different sides, so we can do a light side, dark side, and a medium side. So I have this one here, and this one here. That's really all we need. So let's go ahead and change the colors of those. So I'm going to select that, and then I'm going to grab my eyedropper tool, and I'm going to go ahead and pick my first color right here. So it's this pretty intense red. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click right over here on my color guide. So that's going to be right here. If you don't see color guide, just go up to Window and make sure that you have color guide selected, and that's going to pop up right here. Okay. Now I always click on my selected color first. If you're unsure, pick your color. Okay. Make sure it's queued up here, and then click on it so that sets that to be the top color right here. So in the middle is your tint. Is your initial color right here. So this is the initial color. And as I move to the left, I'm going to make that color darker and closer to black. And as I move to the right, I'm going to take that color and make it closer to white. So what I want to do is I want to have a light side up top, and I might go one step, or you know what, I think I'll do 2 steps off of here. And now I'm going to do a dark side down here. So let's click on this one. Here's the initial color. I'm going to go 1 and maybe 2 steps off there, or maybe 1. You can be the determining factor if it's too much contrast or not enough. That looks good to me. I'm going to go ahead and select that cube. I'll hold Alt. I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to repeat this process. Let's change this color. Eyedropper. Grab my bluish purple color, and let's go ahead and make sure that we cue that color up. Okay, that is the current color. There it is. I want a lighter value. Let's try this. Let's go one more step. That's good. Dark value. Here it is. 1, 2. Maybe just 1 on that one. I think that's good enough. And then we're going to repeat. So I would do that step again for my blue. Eyedropper. Blue. Select it. Cue your color. 1 step. 2 steps, I think, for sure. Maybe even 3 on this one. I might go 3. And then 1, 2. Oh, 2's too dark. Whoops, and I jumped down 1. 1. I think 1's good. Okay, there we go. So I would continue on. I got 2 more colors that I could do that with here, but let's talk about how we can get this into our color swatches right over here. So I'm going to go ahead, once I have all my cubes, and I only have 3 right now, but once I have those, I'm going to have 9 swatches that I'm going to add here. 3 per cube. So I'm going to take this set of color. I'm going to go right over here to the color group in my swatches. I'm going to click on this, and as soon as this pops up right here, selected artwork, include swatches for tints, and I'm going to go ahead, and there we go. And it's going to add all 9 of my swatches right into that color palette for me. So you'd want to wait to do that until you got all of your colors set up here, but it's a really great way to take that 5 color palette and just get a little bit more variety between the dark and light values of each of those colors. So have some fun, explore some color palettes on your Cooler site here. Find one that you like, export as an SVG, place that into your Illustrator document, and make some cubes and use your color guide to help change that color to make a darker value and a lighter value. Add those to your swatches, and you are ready to go. You can do that with any color palette you want, customize and design your own colors, and apply them to different artwork. Have fun, and I'll see you in the next video.